Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Fun English Podcast. I'm your host, John, and today we're talking about something that's really important, how to understand all English words. And as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Sarah. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, John. Hi, everyone. This is such a great topic because let's be honest, English can be really tricky. Even native speakers like me come across words we don't know sometimes.
That's true, and for people learning English, it can feel like there are just too many words to learn. But don't worry, today we're going to give you lots of tips and ideas to make it easier.
Exactly. And here's a fun fact. You don't need to know all the words to speak or understand English well. Most conversations use a small number of common words.
That's a great point. So let's start with a simple question. Sarah, what do you do when you see a word you don't know?
Good question. The first thing I do is look at the sentence around the word. This is called using context. The words and ideas near the unknown word can give you clues about what it means.
That's a smart way to do it. Let me give an example. If you see a sentence like, "The desert was arid and plants struggled to grow," even if you don't know the word arid, you can guess it means dry because plants have trouble growing. It's like solving a mystery using clues from the story.
Exactly. Context is super helpful. And here's a tip. When you're reading or listening, don't stop every time you see a word you don't know. Try to understand the general idea first. Sometimes the meaning of a new word becomes clear as you keep going. For example, if you're reading a news article about a pandemic, other words like virus, disease, and global might help you figure out that a pandemic is a worldwide outbreak of illness.
That's such good advice. Another trick is breaking words into smaller parts. Many English words are made up of roots, prefixes, and suffixes. For example, if you see the word unhappy, the prefix un means not, so unhappy means not happy. Similarly, the word rewrite has the prefix re meaning again, so it means to write again.
Oh, I love that strategy. And suffixes can also help. Words ending in -tion are usually nouns, like celebration or communication. Once you know these patterns, it's like solving a puzzle. Another example is able, which often means can be. For instance, readable means can be read.
Definitely, and a lot of English words come from Latin or Greek. For example, the root tele means distance, like in television or telephone. Learning a few common roots can help you understand hundreds of words. Another one is bio, which means life. Words like biology and biography both relate to life.
That's so true. Let's share another example. The root auto means self, so words like autograph, self-controlled, and autopilot, self-controlled pilot, make more sense when you know the root.
But let's talk about listening. Many learners say it's hard to understand spoken English because people speak so fast.
Oh, yes, that's a common challenge. One tip is to focus on the important words in a sentence instead of trying to catch every single word. For example, if someone says, "I'm gonna grab a coffee," even if you miss gonna, you'll still understand they're getting coffee. Listening for key words can save you a lot of stress.
Absolutely, and podcasts like this one are a great way to practice. You can slow down the audio and listen to parts again and again. It's all about training your ears. A good exercise is to listen once without subtitles, then again with subtitles, and finally repeat without them.
That's such a good tip. Now, let's talk about tools. What are your favorite tools for learning new words?
Great question. I love dictionary apps like Merriam-Webster or Cambridge Dictionary. They not only give you definitions, but also example sentences and pronunciation guides. Some even let you hear the words spoken by native speakers.
I also love apps like Duolingo and Memrise. They make vocabulary learning fun and interactive. And of course, there's Anki for spaced repetition, which helps you remember words over time. It's like having a personal memory coach.
And let's not forget about flashcards. You can make your own or use pre-made decks online. Writing the words by hand can help reinforce them in your memory.
Flashcards are fantastic, and don't just write the word, write a sentence with it. For example, instead of just cat, write, "The cat is sleeping on the sofa." This helps you learn how to use the word in context.
That's a great point. Learning words in context is much better than just memorizing lists. Speaking of context, let's talk about reading. What should learners read to improve their vocabulary?
Start simple. Don't try to read difficult books right away. Graded readers are perfect because they're made for learners. Even children's books are a great choice. One of my favorites is Dr. Seuss. The language is simple, and the rhymes make it fun.
Yes, and once you're comfortable, try reading news articles or blogs about topics you enjoy. If you like sports, read sports news. If you love cooking, read recipes or food blogs. It's more fun when you're interested in the topic. Plus, you'll learn words that are useful to you personally.
Definitely. And here's a fun idea. Create a word jar. Write new words on slips of paper and put them in a jar. At the end of the week, take some out and try to use them in a sentence or story. It's a fun challenge, especially if you do it with friends.
I love that idea. It makes learning fun. Let's also talk about speaking and writing. Using new words is one of the best ways to remember them.
So true. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Talk to friends, join language exchange groups, or even practice speaking to yourself in the mirror. The more you use the words, the more natural they'll feel. And if you're shy, start by speaking to yourself.
And writing helps too. Keep a journal in English. Even if you only write a few sentences a day, it's a great way to practice. For example, write about your day. Today I went to the park and saw a beautiful sunset.
Another idea is to play word games. There are so many apps and games online that help you learn vocabulary in a fun way. Scrabble, crosswords, or even apps like Wordle can boost your vocabulary.
Word games are fantastic. They're fun and educational. And don't forget, watching movies and TV shows with subtitles can also help. You'll hear how words are pronounced and see how they're used in context.
That's so true. And if you find a favorite movie or series, watch it again and again. Repetition helps. Plus, you'll start to recognize common phrases and expressions.
Speaking of repetition, another tip is to read aloud. It might feel strange at first, but it helps you practice pronunciation and remember words better.
Absolutely, and you can even record yourself and listen back. It's a great way to spot areas where you can improve.
And here's one more thing. Don't compare yourself to others. Everyone learns at their own pace. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small.
That's such a good reminder. Learning English is a journey, not a race. Be patient and consistent, and you'll see improvement over time.
Before we finish, let's quickly recap the main tips for our listeners. First, use context to guess the meaning of words.
Second, learn prefixes, suffixes, and roots to figure out word meanings.
Third, practice listening and focus on key words and sentences.
Fourth, read a lot, but start with simple material like graded readers or children's books.
Fifth, use tools like dictionary apps, flashcards, and spaced repetition apps to help you learn and remember words.
Sixth, speak and write as much as you can. Practice using new words in real-life situations.
And seventh, have fun with learning. Play games, watch shows, and explore topics you enjoy in English.
Well, that's it for today's episode. We hope these tips help you feel more confident with English words.
Yes, and remember, progress is more important than perfection. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and share it with your friends.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Until next time, keep practicing and have fun with English.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Your support means a lot, and it helps me create more great content for you. See you in the next video.